In the 21st century, much is affecting our environment. The Industrial Revolution over the last couple of decades brought with it a lot of development, and through economic growth, livelihoods improved. However, all these innovation and development milestones have brought with them major threats to the balance of the environment. Something you and I call climate change. Climate change, an effect of global warming, is the greatest challenge to mankind. Livelihoods are threatened and ecosystems are on the brink of destruction. With all these threats, what is the solution?
In the 20th century, many conventions were held to give an international alert on the issue, and one suggestion resounded: mitigation.
In our country, Kenya, a major cause of climate change is deforestation that sees the clearing of forests and leads to desertification.
Trees play a big role in our environment, and one of the most campaigned for actions is the planting of trees to increase the green cover of our planet.
So, our climate action is planting of indigenous trees to promote a better environment. We promote participatory sustainable forest restoration and afforestation. This is part of a local approach to global climate change mitigation and adaptation.
Indigenous trees good, better than exotic trees. Indigenous trees grow slowly, and so they perform better in carbon sequestration. They provide shade for longer because they don't shed leaves. So they are also provide they enhance soil fertility because the leaves, as they fall down, they decompose and provide the nutrients to the plants. So indigenous trees also tend to provide habitat for other living things such as butterflies and birds. So they are more attractive to plant.
In early 2015, members of Chiromo Environmental Awareness Club placed their mark in history when they established the first ever indigenous tree nursery.
When we established our tree nursery, we began by planting Macamia lutea, which is also known as the Nile trumpet, Vitex guineensis, also known as Mary oak, and finally Junipera procea, which is also known as the African pencil cedar.
As we started out, we realized that our knowledge about managing tree nurseries was limited. So we sought consultation at the Kenya Forest Service, where we got expert advice on better tree management practices. We also attended regular trainings at the National Museums of Kenya and participated in tree planting activities. This enabled us to engage with community on how to best manage our environment.
SIAC Tree Nursery is involved in the following projects:
research into the indigenous species of Kenya,
then acquiring skills that will enable members to know how they can be able to run a tree nursery,
selling the seedlings to the university, the neighboring community, and the country at large.
and last but not least, it gives the members ability to manage and run the tree nursery after they have got the skills that they need.
Our greatest gains will be the contribution we make to climate change mitigation, the education of tree species and their particular advantages to the environment, the acquisition of skills by our members and interested youth parties on the propagation of indigenous trees through training in our tree nursery, raising of environmental awareness in Kenya, supplying various schools and organizations with seedlings during tree planting sessions and community-based activities. Through partnering with local community-based organizations to create awareness, we will create a healthy environment. The government, through the local forestry chapter, has taken a keen interest in our progress and have offered their support.
Conservation of our forests requires community participation as encompassed in RED+. Community involvement through symposiums, conferences and community barazas results in better management strategies. Also through publications and digital and social media to reach a wide audience. For more specific approach, identification of tree species suitable to a certain climate is essential, and this can be done by seeking advice from your local forestry departments in your regions.
And in the spirit of sustainability, it is important for us to incorporate the young generation, because there's no need for us to conserve the environment only for them to grow up and destroy it, all because we did not show them how to take good care of it.
As the late Professor Wangari Maathai once said, you cannot protect the environment unless you empower the young and you teach them how to manage the forest, because these resources are theirs and they need to protect them.
Projects such as this and many others which SIAC strive to engage in will benefit the rehabilitation of the indigenous tree count in Nairobi and Kenya, hence raising environmental awareness in our country. If we plan on achieving a greener and more sustainable future, solutions such as this which aim to mitigate climate change and solve the problems we face with endangered tree species in Kenya should be some of those embraced by environmentalists worldwide.
Are an indigenous nation on our own, we have our own indigenous species. So don't just go pick a tree for 10 bob because it's cheaper. Remember, it's an exotic species. If it's for the sake of conservation, go for the indigenous species, because indigenous species hold snails, they hold slugs, they hold butterflies, they hold frogs. They hold, if you look at the leaf of a eucalyptus and you look at the insects, it doesn't have as many as the leaf of a mugungo tree or a macamia lutea.
So as we journey on in our quest for emissions reduction, we strive to get more exposure on the importance of the conservation of indigenous trees for sustainable forest management. We are playing our part in the reduction of desertification in arid and semi-arid areas, and aside from this, it is our goal that the next urban air assessment carried out will show improved air quality as a result of the practices we have adopted. And finally, we will create worldwide awareness on the land tenure issues and poor forest and agricultural governance that threaten sustainable forest management.
Join us in our noble cause.
Plant trees for a sustainable future.